The incredible life story of Abraham Lincoln. A tale of courage, struggle, and victory. Abraham Lincoln's life is not just a chapter from history books. It is a living lesson, a shining reminder that greatness is not something you are born with. It is something you build step by step through pain, patience, and unshakable determination. This is the story of a man who started with nothing, no wealth, no connections, no formal education, yet rose to become one of the greatest leaders the world has ever known. 1. The humble beginning. On a cold February morning in 1809, in a tiny log cabin in Kentucky, a baby boy was born. His name was Abraham Lincoln, but no one could have guessed that this child, wrapped in simple cloth, would one day change the history of a nation. His family was extremely poor. They lived in a one-room cabin with dirt floors. There were no toys, no comforts, not even proper shoes for winter. His father, Thomas Lincoln, worked endless hours as a farmer and carpenter, but money was always short. His mother, Nancy Hanks Lincoln, was gentle, loving, and wise, and little Abraham adored her deeply. Life was hard, but the hardships shaped the character of the boy who would grow into a remarkable man. 2. A boy who loved books more than anything. Lincoln grew up doing heavy farm work, splitting logs, carrying water, planting crops. But there was one thing that separated him from other children around him. He had an extraordinary hunger for learning. Schools were rare and often far away, so Abraham barely received 1 year of formal education in his entire life. But he refused to let that stop him. He borrowed books from neighbors and read by the firelight late at night. Sometimes he walked miles just to find a book. He read whatever he could find: Bible stories, fables, poetry, history, and law. Every new word he learned felt like an accomplishment, every sentence a treasure. He once said, "My best friend is the man who will get me a book I have not read." Abraham believed that knowledge could change a person's destiny, and he was right. 3. Tragedy strikes. Early. When Abraham was just 9 years old, tragedy struck. His mother became gravely ill and died. Her passing shook him deeply. He felt lost, empty, and heartbroken. But before she left this world, she said to him, "Abraham, be kind, be honest, and work hard. That is all I ask of you." Her words stayed with him forever and became the foundation of his character. Soon after, his father remarried a woman named Sarah Bush Johnston, who became a strong and loving stepmother. She encouraged Abraham to continue reading, supported his dreams, and treated him as her own child. She played a huge role in shaping him into the man he would become. 4. Growing up with pain and perseverance. Throughout his youth, Abraham faced one difficulty after another. Poverty followed him everywhere. He worked on farms, he labored on the river, he chopped wood, he built fences. He did every job that came his way, not because he wanted to, but because survival demanded it. But every night when the work was done, he read and wrote. He practiced speaking. He developed the skill that would one day make him a powerful leader. The ability to move hearts with words. He was known for his honesty. People began to call him Honest Abe. If he owed money, he paid it back even if it took years. If he gave his word, he never broke it. He had little, but he had character, and that was priceless. 5. First steps into the world. At age 21, Lincoln left home to build a life of his own. He worked as a shopkeeper, a postmaster, and even as a rail splitter. He also served as a soldier in the Black Hawk War, though he never fought in a battle. People noticed his intelligence and his kindness. They trusted him. Soon he began thinking of a bigger dream. He wanted to enter politics. His first attempt to run for the Illinois legislature ended in failure. He lost badly. But Lincoln never feared failure. He believed every setback was a lesson. He tried again, and this time, people voted for him. 6. rising step by step. While serving in the legislature, Lincoln began studying law. With no school and no teacher, he taught himself. He read law books cover to cover and mastered their meaning. Soon he became a lawyer, one of the most respected in Illinois. As a lawyer, he was known for fairness. He never defended someone he believed was guilty. He never cheated. He always chose truth over money. His speeches were powerful, thoughtful, and deeply moving. People listened when he spoke. They believed in him. His political career grew slowly, step by step, inch by inch. He became a member of the U.S. Congress, but even then, he faced countless failures, criticisms, and disappointments, yet the fire inside him never faded. 7. The turning point: slavery and leadership. America at that time was divided. The issue of slavery was tearing the nation apart. Lincoln believed deeply that slavery was morally wrong. He said, "If slavery is not wrong, nothing is wrong." His bravery in speaking against slavery made him famous and controversial. Many loved him, many hated him, but no one ignored him. In 1860, when the nation needed a strong leader, something extraordinary happened. Abraham Lincoln was elected the 16th President of the United States. From a poor boy in a log cabin to the highest office in the country, his life itself became a legend. 8. The country falls into war. But Lincoln's greatest challenge began the moment he became president. States in the South broke away and formed their own nation. America was plunged into the deadly Civil War, the bloodiest war in its history. Lincoln carried the weight of the nation on his shoulders. Every day he made difficult decisions. Every day thousands of soldiers died. Every day he worried about the future of his country. He often stayed awake all night, reading reports, writing letters to families of fallen soldiers, and praying for peace. His heart broke again and again, but he never gave up. He said, "I have been driven many times to my knees by the overwhelming conviction that I had nowhere else to go." 9. The Emancipation Proclamation. In the middle of the war, Lincoln made a decision that would change history forever. On January 1, 1863, he signed the Emancipation Proclamation, declaring that all enslaved people in Confederate states were free. It was a bold, courageous move. It made him a hero to millions and an enemy to many others. But Lincoln did not do it for popularity. He did it because it was right. He believed in equality, in justice, in freedom, and he believed America could not be truly great until all its people were free. 10. Victory and hope. After 4 long years of brutal war, countless deaths, and unimaginable suffering, Lincoln's leadership finally brought victory. The Union was saved. The nation remained together. Things were beginning to heal. People were starting to dream again. Hope was returning to the land. Lincoln gave a speech that still echoes through time, the Gettysburg Address, in which he reminded the nation that democracy must be protected. "Government of the people, by the people, for the people, shall not perish from the earth." The country needed him more than ever. 11. The final tragedy. Just when America began to breathe again, tragedy struck. On April 14, 1865, while watching a play at Ford's Theater, Lincoln was shot by an assassin. The next morning, at the age of 56, Abraham Lincoln took his last breath. The nation cried. People who had never met him felt as if they lost a friend, for Lincoln had not just saved a country, he had touched the heart of humanity. 12. The legacy that lives forever. Today, Abraham Lincoln is remembered as one of the greatest leaders in history. His face is carved on Mount Rushmore. Countless schools, roads, and monuments honor his name. But his true legacy lies not in stone or statues. It lies in his character, in the lessons his life teaches us. You do not need wealth to become great. You do not need privilege to make history. You do not need a perfect life to dream big. You just need courage, honesty, and perseverance. Lincoln once said, The best way to predict your future is to create it. He proved those words with his entire life. 13. The message of his story. The story of Abraham Lincoln is the story of every person who refuses to give up. It is the story of someone who faced poverty, loss, failure, and pain, but kept walking forward. He teaches us that greatness is built, not given. Character matters more than comfort. Failure is not the end. It is a lesson. A single person can change the world. His journey from a poor log cabin to the presidency is a reminder that no dream is too big if your heart is strong enough to pursue it. Conclusion. Abraham Lincoln's incredible life is more than history. It is motivation, courage, and inspiration wrapped into one powerful story. He lived for truth. He fought for justice. He died for freedom. And through his journey, he left the world with a shining example of what a human being can achieve when they choose integrity over comfort, bravery over fear, and hope over despair.